This is a review for Dark Reign Fantastic Four. This was one of the mini-series that had the title Dark Reign, and this is the one for Fantastic Four. They did this, obviously, because, Millar was doing his stuff on Fantastic Four, and boy howdy, we didn't want to interrupt that, because he would interrupt it himself. Good job, Mark. And this was Hickman's first actual foray into the book with the team. And I have been eating through his run. I have the first 30 trades of his run on the ongoing, and I've been loving FF, if anyone asks. I think I mentioned in my last Fantastic Four review that this was probably something you wanted to read first, because it's important to the beginning of his run, and I was mostly right on that, because the bridge plays a role, and it really starts with that, and like with all the Fantastic Four books, I call this Fantastic Four The Bridge, because, that's the actual name of the arc of this. It's just called Dark Reign. Labels, they sell you shit, and the art's done by Sean Chen. He's a good artist. He's not like a guy who I'm excited to see, but when I see him do stuff, it's really good. There's no problems with it. He's done a few other things I have. I think he did some Nova. The story is kind of what Hickman does best. He's doing classic Fantastic Four, wacky science. There's a lot of parallel Earths involved. There's like cowboy versions of different team members, Renaissance versions of different team members. It's just kind of a really fun romp. And then you have the other story where, because the Fantastic Four are teleported to different parallel Earths thanks to Reed, the kids are left behind, and Norman Osborn wants to take over the Baxter building, and they fight him off. The kids fight him off, and it's hilarious. Here's the thing I just want to say. I already mentioned this. I said that it's probably not entirely necessary to go back, but in all honesty, you should probably read this. Because Volume 1 did do a good job of explaining what it is, but in all honesty, this gives you a better idea of what it could do. And it really does see the kind of problems you'd see in his run, because one thing that in the first trade of Hickman's run you'll notice of the ongoing is he really tries to push that Reed, I almost said weed, I have speech impediment. Reed is so obsessed with work, he's making no time for family, especially Sue, and you see this happening. So Hickman's had this idea early on. This almost seems like this was the arc he wanted to do, but Millar was going on, and they needed someone to do the Fantastic Four series, so he did this. Dark Reign-wise, this doesn't do too much for Dark Reign, and honestly, it's advancing his run on Fantastic Four more than it's doing anything for the Dark Reign kind of story, whatever the hell it really was. I really do think this was proof that he was perfect for the book. Because I knew a lot of people were reading this and judging on whether or not he could handle Fantastic Four. And this was perfect. This is a perfect example. If you're a little weary of trying out his Hickman's run still, especially with what happened with Johnny Storm, this I recommend you check it, because it's, in my mind, the start, and in all honesty, it is the start to his run. And you get a good feeling for all the characters, and you get a really fun kind of... If you love parallel, like, traveling through parallel Earth stories, you'll like this. It's not too insufferable as that, though. Like, it's not like... they keep jumping back and forth, so it's, in all honesty, you practically are seeing, like, variant action figures. Like, look, it's Army Thing and shit like that. You get Cowboy Sue Richards. You get Cowgirl Sue Richards. You get all of it, and it's it maintains to be fun. That's one thing about Hickman. He's really good at doing big sciencey ideas, but he's also good at making fun comics. So I really do recommend you check this out first if you really want to get into his run.